design process. Okay, in this video I'm going to be looking at what it is to be a user and how the users affect design. What is their role in the whole design process? So first we need to answer, what is a user? A user takes what other people design and interact with it. They don't normally give feedback. They don't create things. They don't produce or collaborate, and they tend to follow mainstream products or trends. Why is a user good in design? Well, a user is good in design because they can first-hand test out a product. For instance, they can test out how to book flights online or travel websites. The designer may not see certain problems whilst designing until the user actually uses it and can point out what is going wrong. Another thing I've been looking at is perverse usability. What is perverse usability? Well, perverse usability advocates the application of methods to evaluate a design's usability at every stage of the design process, keeping in mind the goals of the product and user's needs. Perverse usability stands out from other usability testing methods as it can be conducted through the product's lifestyle, not just in the first development stages. It's also unique because its steps involved with this method are quite simple and can be less taxing on those conducting the test. Basically, there's 3 steps of perverse usability testing. The first step is analyze. The tester analyzes the user needs, the target usability requirements, goals for the website from both the user and business perspectives, the existing version of any site, and evaluate the proposed changes. They also look at competitors' websites, and they use interviews and surveys. The second one is conceptualize. They conceptualize the site design at an abstract level, ensure that the architectural layout of the site is planned to detail before the design process has begun, conduct a task analysis to identify the critical features of the site and place them predominantly in the site architecture. Also, create visual sort of like mock-ups or interactive prototypes, representations of the site. Conduct evaluations of the prototype through focus groups, user tests, or sort of walkthroughs. Repeat this process until the evaluation results and target goals for this. Looking at misuse for objects is very important for what the user does, because when you start to question, say what a phone can do, what else a phone can do except for make calls, then you start to develop things like calculators for it and games. But what we've wanted to do is question everyday objects. For instance, we've been looking at CDs, Coke cans, and thinking what else can we use for them. Now, a user shouldn't or doesn't normally question what they're looking at. So what we want the user to do is think, okay, I've got this, say, Coke can, what else can I use it for? They'd look at it and say, okay, it's kind of heavy, maybe we can use it as a paperweight, or use it as a doorstop. But in design, it's quite important for the user to start thinking like this, and this is what we want people to do. We want them to stop being the old user that they were, and to start being the new user that we want them to be. And that's basically, how the role of the user affects design. Okay, recently I've been looking at this program called Auto Illustrator, which is a program by Sinewave, and basically it works the same way as Adobe Illustrator, except it's sort of riddled with bugs and glitches. And say you want to sort of draw a straight line, the bugs and the glitches will interfere, so making it impossible to draw what you want, which can come up with some pretty interesting results. It basically questions how contemporary software should behave, and is linked to how we want our users to behave. We want our users to, question certain things that they're using. So this program is very similar to what we want the users to be. Having a look at this software, it can come up with some pretty good results, and will come up with things that you would never expect to do if you're using normal Illustrator. For instance, there's this thing where you can put little tiny bugs on the page, and they will basically go and draw a line in random ways, which is something you can't get through a normal Adobe Illustrator. What I found out from doing the research into going to an arcade and looking at arcade games was that the participant and the user, the roles are quite similar, because if one more person was to join the arcade game, they would be participating but also still becoming a user.